folks. Welcome to today's Coffee with Jesus. It's Thursday. We're looking at this question of how we know that Jesus is true, that he's real, that he's who he says he is. And Jesus has just said, I'm not testifying about myself. He's said there is evidence, and the first evidence he's given is that of John the Baptist, who testified about him. So somebody else testified. And we see that in our own lives, that other people's testify. But then he says this, verse 36, I have testimony weightier than that of John, for the works that the Father has given me to finish, the very works that I'm doing, testify that the Father has sent me. I have testimony weightier than that of John, for the works that the Father has given me to finish, the very works that I am doing, testify that the Father has sent me. Now, that's a very powerful thing in terms of the miracle. So later on, John is going to say that Jesus did many other wonderful things, but these are written that you may believe. Some people want to argue that miracles prove the existence of God. No, they don't. That's not the point. It becomes a circular argument, because if you think there is no God that can work miracles, then of course you're not going to accept any miracle. You're just going to regard it as something extraordinary, and then you'll find a way to explain it away. So C.S. Lewis talks about miracles, what a miracle is. He says, I use the word miracle to mean an interference with nature by a supernatural power. Someone like Pascal said it's not possible to have reasonable grounds for not believing in miracles. I think that's true. G.K. Chesterton said, the believers in miracles accept them rightly or wrongly because they have evidence for them. The disbelievers in miracles deny them rightly or wrongly because they have a doctrine against them. Do you understand the importance of that? Some of you watching this will say, well, I don't believe in miracles because, I need evidence and I'm just about evidence. But actually, no. We who believe in miracles, we do so because of the evidence. We're not just blind in that. But you don't believe because your doctrine is there isn't a God and there can't be miracles. But if that's the case, what's the purpose of miracles? Well, they're there to authenticate the messenger. So if you go back to chapter 3 and verse 2, it says, Rabbi, we know that you're a teacher who's come from God. This is Nicodemus. For no one could perform the signs you were doing if God were not with him. Or later on in chapter 10 and verse 37 and 38. Do not believe me unless I do the works of my Father. But if I do them, even though you do not believe me, believe the works, that you may know and understand that the Father is in me and I in the Father. Lewis, again, in his wonderful book on miracles, forgive me for reading from it again, it says this, you are probably quite right in thinking you will never see a miracle done. You are probably equally right in thinking that there was a natural explanation of anything in your past life which seemed, at the first glance, to be rum or odd. God does not shake miracles into nature at random as if from a pepper pot. They come on great occasions. They are found at the great junctions of history, not of political or social history, but of that spiritual history which cannot be fully known by man. So you see the argument here. The argument is, if I see a miracle, if I see a miracle, then I will believe. The argument is that Jesus is who he says he is because he did the miracles. Now, some of you are immediately going to say, well, how do we know that he did the miracles? And the answer is from God's word, from the witnesses again who saw that. These were not miracles these were not things that were done in a corner, as I said. They were public on most occasions, and there was plenty evidence for them. I have no difficulty in believing that the miracles of the Bible occurred. It's logical, it's historical, it makes sense. Again, the only thing that will make you not believe that is because you have a doctrine against it. So, it's wonderful. Jesus is who he says he is. He did these many mighty works. That's another great witness. People and his works. God bless you. See you tomorrow. Bye.